Alright, what's up everyone, CR2 here. Hope you're doing well wherever and whenever you are watching from. And today, tonight, this morning, this afternoon, we have got the NASCAR 1987's Qualified Practice Guide for Week 10 of 2026 Season 3. And this time we are going to be at Old Phoenix, 2008 I believe it is. Much better than the newer Phoenix in my opinion. Tough track at times, and it's going to be tough this time around because we've got a very hot track to deal with. 126 degrees. 12:20 in the sim. It'll be like 12:15 once it changes over to qualifying in your actual race session. So take note of this. If you're at like 121 degrees, get on out there as soon as possible. The track's only going to get hotter. If you got some cloud cover and the track's sitting at like 110 degrees, if even cooler than that, get the hell on out there as soon as possible. Every degree of temperature matters. So you see that 30.865, that was set on like 119 degrees of track temperature for my all-time best. Realistically, this will now be like a 31.0. Get that reset set up in case I screw it up. Be careful of loose on throttle trying to make your run up, so just kind of be easy on it. And then once you're straightening out your wheel, you can go full throttle. Very important to not overrun turns 1. Go up a couple clicks on the brake bias. You're just gonna trail brake it the whole way through. This was an awful corner for me. Hopefully we make it back up on the exit. You see I'm fighting it on throttle out of there. That's a 30.968. Certainly feel like I left about a half a tenth on the table, but that's a pretty competitive time for the track temperature right now. So we are going to, so you see, hang on a moment here. There we go. So, 141 to start your lap. If you're faster than that, you're doing great. I don't have a good braking marker visually for turns 1 and 2. You're just kind of going to have to feel it out. This is the best I can come up with. I'm not kidding you. I really hope it shows up. You see how the seams in the track here, where these filler seams or whatever along the cracks of the track kind of do this whole wavy pattern every time it juts to the left. So don't count this one just past the start finish line. 1, 2. I really hope it shows. Somewhere around here, like this gap in between the cracks and filler, seam filler, all of that stuff. Yeah, right about here. What does that look like visually in car? So about when this Rebesto sign, this Bosch sign is meeting your A-pillar, and it's roughly the same for in race, your braking marker. That's a good thing about it. It's kind of the same between qualifying and in race. If you find something better, absolutely go with that. I have not been able to find a good visual brake marker for turn 1. So you just ride the brake. That's why I say don't set your brake bias too low, because if you're too low, you're going to kick the rears out. Your lap is done. Get on low. You're gonna kind of wait until you see this traffic light right here, this track condition green light here, until you see this in your windshield mirror, in your windshield view, excuse me. Do not get on throttle. You're waiting for this to be in your windshield view. Keep your exit nice and tight. You don't want to push towards it. You could probably get away with throttle a little bit sooner. Don't hit this yellow curb here. It's okay if you just barely clip it, but you don't want to actually run the tread part of your tire over that. Upsets the car. Try to avoid that. Brake at about the Goodyear sign, checker sign to your right. I think I kind of overdrove this, but you at least make it up with a stronger exit. And then of course, just be careful on throttle. You see I'm fighting it there. And there you go, 30.968. Track 129 degrees now, so be ready for a hot track. It is kind of mostly cloudy, partly cloudy. Let's see what the weather forecast is. Into overcast skies way later into the race, so you might have some spotty cloud cover. Whenever the track gets fully shaded, it'll cool off about 20 degrees. So you got to make sure you're really paying attention to that. You may suddenly just pick up some speed and you don't know what the hell's going on, but just make sure you don't start pushing the car harder in relation to that, because that's just how you kill off whatever life you have in your tires. Don't change up what you're doing. Just kind of roll with it. Your car will get faster. Keep your line, your brake mark is the same, all of that cool stuff. 130 now. So again, let's get on out there. For your race, I honestly recommend just cranking your brake bias all the way up to 58%, just because that keeps heat out of your right rear. You want to keep your right rear happy. If it's too hot and pissed off, you're not going to have any drive off out of the corners. Go on and mimic the start a little bit. Switch this to last lap. Get your braking zone a little bit later on lap 1 off of the race start, restarts, whatever. For turn 3, I back my braking marker up to the subway sign on the right. See that? Kind of keep your braking straight, wash on up a little bit just above the seam, and then just turn back on down naturally. Follow that dotted white line to your left. Careful of loose on throttle. I kind of like a little bit of a wider entry in the middle to turn 1. Just helps me out. Make sure you're not pushing out towards the wall off turn 2. See if I happen to get a racing line that shows you guys what that looks like. You can see I'm not really following the diamond line. Show you why you wait so much. See how you're kind of pushing towards the wall. I mean, that's not so bad there because this is only lap 3 of the run. Tires are going to have some life in them. But later on, that will be a problem if you're getting on throttle too soon. That's why I say wait until you see that track condition light in your windshield view. Be smooth and easy on that throttle, not full throttle until you're almost straightening out your steering wheel. You see how each lap is considerably slower by about a couple tenths, and that's just simply because I'm not trying to get everything out of the tire. I can, but I will pay dearly for that later on if I go on and do that. See, really nice strong run off of there. Of course, don't hit the wall. See how I'm not really next to the wall, almost up until the end of the safer barrier on the right. a little bit of cloud cover. We might pick up some lap time. Just be careful not to go too far below the yellow line off of turn 3 and 4. The track does flatten out there. The car will get loose if you are not careful. I haven't really liked with the short track setups is I cannot feel the force feedback is just really dead, and that's just been a thing with short track setups. I feel the steering wheel more at low speeds rather than race pace. You see how we're just setting into a pretty good groove. Not really sending the car into these corners. Use a little bit of brake to help you turn. Smooth initial throttle. Brake at the subway sign. Just be careful of locking up the left front. Easy into the throttle off of turn 3 and 4, follow the dotted white line. Getting the yellow line earlier in turns 1 and 2 really seems to help the car rotate, but I would say that's a little bit better for later on in the run. Tires are worn out, you don't have fuel to help you with weight transfer and load up that right front and help you turn. Let's try a little bit of an alternate line for 3 and 4 here. We're going to try up next to the wall. Again, keep riding the brake a little bit. Get your turn down. Offers you a really strong runoff, but we're 3/10 slower, so let's try that line again, be a little bit more aggressive. See if there's a way to make that racing line work in a race versus competition and trying to either make a pass or hold the position. Carry your braking a little bit later, car length or 2, but not too crazy. Still get your turn down. See, there you go. That's roughly our time made up. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. And there you go. That's something you want to be careful of. So I am going to go restart a run and you guys will join me here.
Damage on the front end.
Thank you, Spotter. I realize that. You guys will rejoin me here in a little bit. Alright everyone, so we're back 20 laps into this second run. I think it was about lap 15 in the first run you saw where I screwed up, got loose off of turn 4 and killed the car. So you can see right now we are running about 32.7s consistently, give or take maybe a couple tenths, excuse me. And then you see how I'm still remaining patient, kind of flirting with that wall on exit. Oh. And be careful with that little crest into the dog leg, because if you got a little too much left turn while you're on throttle, the car might snap loose on you, as you just saw there. Track is coming under a little bit of cloud cover, so that should hopefully allow us to pick up a couple tenths per lap, maybe even more. This crest right there. And you see how I'm still just trail braking a little bit up until I'm in the center of the corner and the car starts turning down towards the yellow apron line. So there you go at 32.7. Please ignore scraping the wall. Brake bias is still at 58%. Trying to see how much the track has cooled off. If we can run a 32.5, we're looking on a trend for that right now. Could probably say the track is sitting at 120 degrees right now, maybe more like 117. And there you go, 575. So definitely pay attention through your lap time. If you've got a little live track temperature readout available to you, then awesome. That does grants you a little bit of an advantage. I would have one. I just keep forgetting to download and install it. So now we are just going to pretend as if we're doing a green flag pit stop. I mean, really quickly to say, you do not need to stop for fuel. You can make it the whole, I think you can make it like 95 laps. And this race is 90 laps, so fuel is absolutely not a concern. If, say you get a yellow at like lap 75 or so, something like that, 2-tire call is probably usable, but I absolutely recommend you don't add any fuel. It will make the car, excuse me, it'll make the car very loose. Try to clock in an actual lap time here really quickly. Car feels a little bit tight, and that's just because I got on throttle a hair too early. But at the same time, I'm also trying really hard to induce that. A proper lap time with the cooler track under cloud cover. I think this lap time could have easily been a tenth faster if I really wanted to. But at the same time, like pretty much nearly every track that 87 visits, you don't want to chase lap time. Just through that effort, you're going to heat up the tires, kill your lap time, and you're just going to fall behind everybody else. Don't chase lap time. And this kind of goes doubly so for short tracks, flat tracks, especially like Gateway last week, where you just couldn't chase lap time at all. Double check the brake bias, okay. We certainly don't need fuel, and we're just going to pretend this is a yellow flag pit stop right now. Don't pit under green unless you have to. You will not make up the time. Trust me on that. But really, the tire wear and temperatures are really what I want to see right now.
Pit box in 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
.9086. Could do with a little bit cooler on the right front, and this is just a track that's gonna
We're done. Get going.
naturally burn some right rear, because you're just working that right rear so much through on throttle off of the corners and such like that. And we still have 14 gallons in the tank. More ideally, you'd probably have about 5 less in the tank at this point, where you're really taking the right side tire. So I absolutely recommend that you guys practice on right side tires. Don't add fuel. Maybe a couple gallons just for balance purposes. Make sure you kind of keep that rotation later on in the run, but don't fill up the tank. You will not have a bad time. Just go on and ask our friend Mark Mohamian. I'm sorry if I've said your last name wrong, Mark. But ask him what happened that one time when he took 2 tires at Phoenix and he was leading, if he happened to see him in an official race. You see 31, 39. Probably get it a couple more tenths out of that, and the car just feels brilliant right now. Some care is needed, simply because the car is just rotating so much better naturally. Like I can turn this thing with the brakes, a little bit of more turn in the center just to make sure I make it, and just turning the car with throttle out of the corner almost completely. So yes, car feels brilliant, running roughly a second faster right now, but I really only recommend the 2 tire call if you get a yellow within 20 to go. You might be able to stretch that out to 25. Certainly any more than 30 to go and you get a yellow, I would just take the 4 tires. Maybe throw in a couple more gallons, like a couple to 4 gallons, just to try to keep a little bit of that weight in the car, help you with weight transfer. But on 2 tires, add only a couple gallons of fuel max. This is actually feeling quite nice. What's our fuel load right now? 13.3 gallons. So perhaps on 2 tires, maybe fill the car up to like 9 or 10 gallons. Definitely practice with that, guys, because preparation helps you. .8. If I really want to, I could probably get another couple tenths out of this turn here. We are going to try that just to see what's possible. Car feels good. Trail brake a tiny bit. Little bit of maintenance throttle, maintain the center speed. And that's a 31.822. One more lap. Don't thunderfoot the throttle, it will snap loose on you. Really good corner center there and exit. And that's a 31.702, probably 5 laps into that run. So you see what's possible on 2 tires, but you've got to make sure you know what you're going to deal with. Let's actually see the track temperature right now. 112. So this is what cloud cover does. Weather right now says mostly cloudy. Later on it might just go into full cloud cover. So to start, you might be dealing with a very hot track, 125 to 130 degrees. Later on, as clouds move in, track gets fully shaded, you might see something down to more like 109 to like 115. I saw it cool down to as low as 108 when I ran a test session a couple days ago. So, but just make sure you're taking note of this number and of course 70% or this number track buildup. I went with higher just because a higher rubber buildup on the track is usually much harder to deal with on a harder track. So just preparation, of course. But naturally, if this is like 10% of rubber buildup, car's going to feel pretty nice. You don't have that extra rubber sitting on the track just soaking up more heat. So with all of this being said, guys, I hope this is helpful to you. To sum this track up in a nutshell, we're into 3 points. Don't chase lap time. That kind of applies to nearly every track 87s goes to. Keep your right rear happy. Is this really kind of one of those race the track places rather than race the drivers? I'm not really sure. But 3rd point, don't pit under green if you don't have to. You won't make the time up, and if there's a yellow that comes out while you're a lap down, good freaking luck making that up anyway. So just don't pit under green unless you absolutely have to. And anything I missed, anything you want to ask, feel free to down there in the comments. And good luck, of course, this coming week, guys. Really fun track. Don't shy away from it. Awesome track for racing. You can use a variety of lines. Just don't shy away. And see you around next time. Take care.